Hey, welcome back, friends. It's Friday. I'm feeling better. I can mostly talk. I'm pretty excited. So, we are going to take a look at the Twitter posts for the week. There was a couple of days they didn't have much going on, and I thought, well, maybe there's not much going on because they're trying to release the update. Yeah, that didn't happen. So, let me come back real quick. Vague picture. Yeah, where did we leave off? Multiplayer. Yeah, this is right about here where we left off last week. Multiplayer. So this is going back to the 23rd. So we'll start way in the past and then move our way forward. So on the 23rd, it said today, early work in progress shot. Oh, we did that one. We covered that one already. This is new. Let's go to the 23rd. This was something I think we didn't cover before. Maybe not. I can't remember. Here's a picture of the sky, just in case you didn't see it. So we got the sky. Got it. Then we go back. And then on the 23rd, it said vague picture of something in progress. So let me click that one. Okay, now this is interesting. I saw this before. When I first saw this, very first saw it, I honestly thought this was all made with inboarding stuff, like the 2x4s and different things. And I thought, oh, great. They must be working on the, the stupid, what do you call it? I can't even think. The barricading system. Because I first thought that's what that was. And I was thinking, oh, man, that's cool. Because now they're looking into the bugs. They're finding out why things aren't sticking in places where they need to be. But after I got looking into it more, to see if I come back, there's actually another picture here later on. We're testing things. This is the one that first made me think it, just because of the way it's kind of all kind of wobbly in spots. It's not really super straight. I don't know. It just kind of looks weird from here, and I thought that was all 2x4s and stuff, but I think it's the framework for like an actual city looking building. So I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, oh no, I don't think that they were testing the barricade. Because see, my thought was if they could build all of this with their in-game barricading system and it stays, then that means they probably fixed the bug. So I overexcited myself. But after I started looking, no, I think they're just putting up the framework to make some kind of new building, office, skyscraper type of thing. So, I mean, that's cool. They were talking about putting in new buildings and things like that. So at least they're working on something big. Because if you figure the scale, your person's going to be, if this was like a main entrance door, or even if these are ground windows, I mean, your little person's going to be real tiny, like the size of this mouse pointer, somewhere there compared to that. And can you imagine if they actually finished that and put floors and walls? So, no, has nothing to do with barricading. I was a little sad, but it does show you that they've got some big things coming. It does mention in somewhere we're going to have more buildings, so that potentially could be a very, very cool building to have to go through. Okay, so we move on past the testing things. Then we move on to the 24th. And it says, with a new unannounced zombie finished, we are discussing the new uninfected animals, cows, boars, and rabbits. So very cool there. And this is where there was like a break. That was like on the 24th. And then nothing on the 25th. And I'm trying to look here at my calendar because, again, I like to speculate. The 24th was the Monday. And then the 25th was Tuesday. And I kept hearing the rumor that they like to do their releases on like a Tuesday, Wednesday. So when I didn't see anything happening around the 25th, I got to thinking, man, today's the day they might be releasing the update. Now they're just taking a break. Because then they came back on the 26th and started picking up their tweets again. So it said today, auto-equip improvements, zombie AI upgrade, they're more aggressive. They got bike improvements, sneaking improvements for when you're crouched. So this is actually very, very cool stuff here to talk about because, one, the auto equip. Currently, when I try to auto equip, like you click on an item and choose the equip option, a lot of times the item will go over to your paper doll area, but it's like in some weird random spot. It actually is easier and makes more sense on the paper doll if you just take your item, click, and drag it over instead of auto equipping. I mean, it's a minor thing, but it's nice to see that that's something that's being fixed because it looks atrocious when you just try to auto equip. Zombie AI upgrade, they're more aggressive. Who knows what that means, because they're already kind of aggressive. They hunt you out really well. So I'm not quite sure how that means, because they're already pretty darn good, unless you're talking maybe speed or something. So we'll see what it means by more aggressive. And then they got the bike improvements. We still haven't seen the bike yet, but I'm guessing that means it's going to be coming out with this build. So it's nice they got improvements. I don't even know what it looks like previously to comment on that. But to them, they've made some improvements. The thing is, though, they have to be careful when they keep putting down things like bike improvements, improving this and that on the bike. We haven't even seen the bike. So at this point, if you put too much hype and emphasis on the bike, then when it comes out and if it has some issues, then people are going to be really, really let down. So they probably would have been better off just by mentioning the bike was coming and give those teaser shots and then left it. Because at this point, I'm going to be really disappointed if the bike still sucks. Because I'm going to be like, where are these improvements they talked about? So, but the bike is coming. Now, sneaking improvements for crouched. I know they were working on some animations for, I think, specifically being crouched. So this will be nice because if it says sneaking and you're crouched, and that's the new animations, that might help lead to doing just that. Stealth. Sneaking past the zombies. So if they're more aggressive when you're standing or running, those kinds of things trigger their detection of you further out, perhaps, then what's going to be nice is if you can crouch and then walk past or a little bit closer, it would be very nice for them to actually start putting in the importance on being stealthy and sneaking instead of fighting your way through, which is going to be important because now with the death system coming where your items, you have to go do the corpse run, that might make us a little more careful about how we approach situations, such as you go into the house, maybe you'll sneak through the house because you don't know where the zombie is. Or if you're outside and there are some zombies, you don't want to trigger them because they're more aggressive now. You're going to crouch a lot more often. It just gives you some more credence to try and survive in the world. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see how it works. Now it says right here, build 13 to have a lot of less glitchy frame rate hiccups. I like this. We like it too. Bring it on. And this here really caught my attention yesterday when I saw this. I've seen their little link for Reddit, but I never went to the Reddit site before until I clicked this link. And I honestly should come here more often because here's a mega thread. This was put together, it said at the bottom, by somebody who doesn't work for Sandswept. So what they've been doing is pretty much what I've been doing, is looking at the Twitter posts and taking all the updates that they're giving, and then they just simply put it in a big list. They compiled it. This is really good. Like, I could run our Twitter weekly wrap-up from this pretty much. And what's awesome is you come and you read it, and it does a really good job of putting all the cool things coming together here. I don't need to read it all because we've already covered it in our Twitter reviews. So I recommend, this is my plug for their Reddit site. So what that did was that got me wondering more about their Reddit. So I wonder, I usually don't use Reddit, so I'm trying to figure out how I could maybe just swing on by back to the Reddit link. Maybe just hit TDL. They got several moderators on it. So yeah, click the TDL, and you can see there's actually quite a bit. There's a next. And I dare say this might even be a better place to come and get info than like the forum, Could be wrong, but that's almost how I'm feeling. Is if you want to get something seen or noticed, come do it here on the Reddit. So come check it out. There's a lot of I'm going to say interesting things. So to plug this, the question is, do you guys want to see a building feature similar to Rust? I'm going to respond to this later on. Because, no, I don't. This isn't Rust. I don't want to see you walk around, have a backpack full of like 130 pieces of wood to put together a wall. No. Let's keep what you got. Improve what you have, make what you have work, and make it easier to line things up. Work on those tools. I don't think we need to have a 7 days to die system. We don't need a Rust. We don't need a Minecraft. We don't need an EverQuest Next, landmark system. I think they should keep what they got, but just make it work before you even think about maybe let's do it a Rust style. That would just totally kill, I think, the path that they were going. So anyway, that's for another discussion, but that's what I got right here. All right, so now let's come on back. We've got the list, the Reddit plug, and then right here he's got debug in prep for release 13. And I don't even know how you say that. Triskaida Kephikopodia. I don't have a clue, but that's fear of the number 13. It'd be cool. I hope they don't do it. Let me see something. Let me pull my calendar up. Okay, I was going to say, if it's fear of the number 13, maybe there's holding off until the next Friday the 13th to release this. I hope not, because that might be a month or two from now. All right, so fear of 13. And then yesterday as well, on the 27th, and I also liked this tweet from them as well. This was cool. It says, way cool. It's cool if it's coming from Papa Keen. It says, way cool. Bullets now pass through zombies to hit ones behind, depending on the caliber. Yeehaw. I don't want to scream it right now, but let me tell you why that is cool. We talked recently in their Road to the Apocalypse talking about their physics, and this is going to go towards like ragdoll effects and different things. It'll all tie in. But now, can you imagine how cool that will be if you have something powerful like the shotgun, possibly, or if you have, like the hunting rifle or that sniper rifle looking thing, and you've got a couple zombies lined up. I'm not anticipating that you're going to be able to shoot through and knock 3 or 4 zombies down, but you might be able to take that one and the one behind it. I mean, even 2 for the price of 1 will be awesome, because as you've seen, as they start bringing these hordes of zombies together and more that come together to work together, I mean, it's hard to kill these things one at a time when there's like 20 or 30 right there. So if you can start shooting through and taking more down at once, not only is that going to look cool, but that's also very helpful as well, because now you can actually feel like, okay, I'm taking these things down. So that was a nice post. I can't wait to see that one in the game. Then we've got all right, hold on. Clear my throat here, because I saw this. It said Detour. It's basically $1. You should pick it up. It's fun. All right. Detour, for those who don't know or haven't followed the company, that's the first game they put out. That was from the stories I've listened to, that was kind of the first father-son project that they put together and then released together, which gave them the confidence and the go-ahead to say, you know what, let's do this. All right. So I said, I'll humor them. Let me click on the link. So I did. I clicked it up. I pulled up the Steam ad, and I had the videos playing here in the background. And I thought, yeah, I'll check it out. Look, it's $1.24. It's $1.24 to get a little bit of history. You're part of the Sandswept Company family there when you get that. And just watching the video, it kind of looks like a simultaneous construction-destruction game. So it looks like you and your opponents are trying to build roads to deliver goods, while at the same time you're trying to destroy your opponent's roads. I mean, the concept looks cute. They're shooting missiles and blowing stuff up. I like that. I thought that's cool. But then I thought, what's cool with Steam lately is users can leave their own little reviews. So I said, dare I scroll down and see what other people are saying about Detour? I stopped. I was like, But to be fair, this one says the game would be good if more people played it. There isn't enough single player content. See, that's the thing. This is one of those games because, they're a small indie company. It's not like they put out huge advertising or anything like that for this game. And this was just more of a project, a good project. I mean, can turn a profit. But that's not good sign to see. And then right here it says lacks in content. There's really not much to the game. However, if you don't have much time and just want a quick game, it's not bad. I don't know why they gave that a thumbs down. But I think because the emphasis is on multiplayer, if not enough people are playing, it's hard to have a multiplayer game if nobody's on. So, then we have Trust Melon. I didn't even read all that. Yeah, I'm not into wall of text. That's why I don't do blogs. I do YouTube stuff. All right, so basically I'm getting it's a multiplayer thing. If you had people to play with, it would be fun. Nobody on there directly said anything negative about the game. They just wish they had more people to play with. So I recommend, checking it out. I would, except my wife already gave me my allowance for games this week. So I'm going to have to put Detour on hold and maybe come back and revisit that. Yeah, because I ended up buying the 2-pack for Zombie Sniper Nazi Killer Guy. So anyway, okay, so let's come on back here. And that's pretty much for the Twitter. Like I said, it only one day did they not really put anything. But I tell you what, that was a really long one day of not knowing what was happening with the game. And wondering, are they coming out? So it should be soon. I keep saying should be soon because this would be coming up month and a half of no update. But yet they keep giving all these little breadcrumbs that it's coming. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I am feeling better. I'm going to start recording some episodes tomorrow for the Walking Ed. That's what we're renaming it. I'll have to go back and... it's been so long. I've been so sick. I forgot who gave that suggestion, but I'm going to give him a shout out. We're going to call this series Walking Ed. I think I mentioned this once before, but I'll mention it again because I'm going to start recording it again. I just need somebody to make me a little YouTube sign thing that I can use so I can, the Walking Ed. And I can start putting that as the thumbnail for the videos. That would be oh so cool. But other than that, next week should be a lot better. I'll be able to get the dailies posted. I might go ahead also and record like some of the roadmap videos ahead. I used to do those every day because they're short, and then I could respond to questions and comments easier on those. But I might have to just go ahead and start recording content ahead of time. That way, if for some reason I'm sick or something comes up, I can still post something for you each day. I mean, I know you're not sitting there at the edge of your seats waiting every single day for me to, share some more of my wonderful gaming knowledge with you. But I like to. I like to put something out every day for you. So, anyway, just look forward to the upcoming week. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you next Monday. All right, everybody. Have a good one.